A very warm welcome to you. This is Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha, Arora. And remember, if you would like to get in touch with us on the show and tell us how your day has been, feel free to do so on our social media handles. That's at KBC Channel 1, at Shiksha Arora, at John_Kago_. I'm yet to change that. We'll work on that. But yes, we have an exciting show lined up for you today.
Absolutely. Spotlight a bit later. That's after the main news of the day, yes. Where you host artists. Yes. Sometimes you speak about art, culture. So who are you hosting today on the Spotlight?
Today we've got Barak Jacuzzi. He's a rap artist and, you know, somebody who we've seen grow over the years. Officially, he's signed under Octopizo, so that's something that's very interesting. We'll be asking him about his journey as a rap artist in Kenya.
So lots of rap game happening later on, yeah?
Absolutely.
But that's later. Before that, we need to bring you up to date with the news that's been shaping up tonight. And from the corridors of justice, well, the anti-corruption court has ruled that Chris Obure, amongst others, have a case to answer. Now, let's bring this to perspective. Remember, Chris Obure was a finance minister during the late President Moi regime. That's in the year 2002, where contracts were allegedly awarded to fictitious companies. The court ruling that he has a case to answer. Now, in President Uhuru's government, he's the chief administrative secretary in the Ministry of Transport. So it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. You also have other stories shaping up today. We have politics. The deputy president was in Kitui today. Business later with Caroline Jenga. Of course, the sportsman Richard Munga will be here. But before that, these are the highlights.
Top on Easy Friday.
Leteni sera yenu, kujeni mnataka mtuambie. Hii mkibadilisha hii katiba, mugawane mamlaka na vyeo, itasaidia mama mboga kwa njia gani?
The decision is on your hands. Deputy President William Ruto tells Kitui residents to elect leaders wisely.
Put on the defense. Former Kisii Senator Chris Obure has a case to answer over the 2003 Anglo leasing scandal.
We want to ensure that Tana River account can be able to support itself in terms of food sufficiency and also supply the rest to the country.
And oasis of hope in Tana River. Hola Irrigation Scheme holds the silver bullet to feeding thousands.
This is Easy Friday, and on the top story of the day, where Deputy President William Ruto says the 2022 election race will pit those for economic reforms against those for power and positions.
Now, Ruto, who was in Kitui, said his opponents had failed to offer an alternative agenda to his bottom-up economic development model that seeks to uplift those at the base of the wealth pyramid.
He urged Kenyans to carefully evaluate leaders' policies and rally behind those with solid plans to transform their lives.
The DP, who was in Kitui, told locals to decide as voters if the next government will create jobs for the youth or change the constitution to create positions for politicians.
Mimi nauliza nyinyi watu wa Kitui. Mnasema tuendelee kuongea mambo ya kubadilisha katiba na vyeo na mamlaka, ama mnasema tubadilishe uchumi kwanza watoto wetu wapate kazi? Tubadilishe uchumi kwanza? Sijasikia vizuri. Mmesema tubadilishe katiba ama uchumi?
Speaking when he led several women empowerment programs targeting more than 20,000 beneficiaries in the county, the DP said his competitors had ulterior intentions in their quest to amend the constitution.
Na sisi hatuna vita na mtu. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Hata hawa watu wote tunashindana na wao, tunataka tuwaambie, leteni sera yenu, kujeni mnataka mtuambie. Hii mkibadilisha hii katiba, mugawane mamlaka na vyeo, itasaidia mama mboga kwa njia gani?
He said the promoters of the BBI were deceiving Kenyans that the proposals in the document were meant to benefit the country, promising to take the country to the next level through the creation of a conducive environment for enterprises to thrive and jobs generated if given opportunity by the Kenyans.
Mtu asikuje kutuuzia ukabila. Hatuna biashara na ukabila. Mtu asikuje kutuuzia mambo ya vyeo na mamlaka. Kwanza tunataka kusuluhisha matatizo ya Wakenya wote. Vile muko na watoto nyumbani hawana kazi, ndio hivyo Kenya mzima.
Leaders accompanying him rallying locals to be part of the Hustler Nation formation that was focused on forming an inclusive government that will address the needs and aspirations of the poor.
Hata tukipenda wale viongozi wengine, sisi tunataka kiongozi anayetujali sisi kama wananchi wa kawaida.
Kuwe hakuna Mpokomo, hakuna Mkikuyu, hakuna Mkamba, hakuna Mjaluo. Sisi wote tunaandamana kama jamii moja ya taifa letu la Kenya.
Ruto hataki kuongojewa na viongozi. Ruto Kitui ameongojewa na mama wa kaimati wa mjini.
Nancy Okwari, Easy Friday.
All right, now the Ministry of Transport's Chief Administrative Secretary Chris Obure has a case to answer in connection to the multi-billion shillings Anglo leasing scandal involving procurement of equipment for the Postal Corporation of Kenya. The court says the prosecution has established a case against Obure, who has not been put on the defense. This case will be mentioned on the 8th of October.
The former KC Senator Chris Obure was charged alongside former Postmaster Francis Chahonyo, Samuel Bundutich. The information PA Sami Chingo has now been put on defense over the multi-billion Anglo leasing case. Obure alongside his colleagues are charged with abuse of office over a contract signed between the government and 3 United States companies to supply internet services in 2003.
This matter will be mentioned on the 8th of October.
Appearing before Magistrate Anne Mwangi, the court said prosecution had established a prima facie case against all the accused persons.
Mr. Kimani, I would urge you to talk to Mr. Kimkumi and see if we can wind up this case before the end of the year.
The case will be mentioned on the 8th of October for further directions. For Easy Friday, I'm Serafina Robbie.
Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta has challenged global financial institutions to ramp up investments in agriculture as part of their support for African economies. In a pre-recorded video statement delivered Thursday evening during the virtual inaugural United Nations Food Systems Summit held on the margins of the ongoing 76th United Nations General Assembly, the president urged financial institutions to support the innovation and design of appropriate mechanisms that will help eliminate risks and losses in Africa's agricultural sector.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has challenged global financial institutions to innovate and design appropriate de-risking and financial instruments for increased investment in agriculture in the African continent. He said this would eliminate risks and losses in the Africa's agricultural sector. Speaking during the ongoing 76th United Nations General Assembly, President Kenyatta said the government has harnessed the power of innovation and digital technologies in agriculture to enable innovators contribute to the agricultural transformation.
To support transformation of our economies, I would like to challenge our global financial institutions to innovate and to design appropriate de-risking and financing instruments for increased investment in agriculture.
While listing 5 strategies the country has deployed towards enhancing food security, such as provision of relevant information to farmers, President Kenyatta said the Kenyan government was determined to fully engage the youth in the food production.
We are also engaging youth in agriculture. The launch of our 4K clubs and our young farmers clubs will engage the youth in the food production cycle, ignite their passion for agriculture. We are also increasing access to nutritious foods and diversifying the diet by bringing back forgotten and neglected traditional foods, investing in fisheries, aquaculture, livestock, fruit and vegetable farming.
According to the president, the country is accelerating its ecosystem restoration through agroforestry, reforestation and sustainable utilization of natural resources. In his keynote address, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres urged the global community to prioritize emergency food and nutrition supplies to areas affected by conflicts and climate emergencies.
Now, a section of Baringo lawmakers now claim the ongoing security operation in Laikipia County has created another crisis. The leaders say that bandits who are fleeing Laikipia have found a safe haven in Baringo South. Now, what they're doing is that they're terrorizing locals with reckless abandon. The members of parliament now want the security operation extended to Baringo. This is to flush out the bandits.
Barely weeks after security forces flushed out bandits in Laikipia County, Baringo County MPs are decrying the increased insecurity in their region.
So we are here basically to condemn the daylight robbery, daylight mchana sasaba, that took place yesterday in Baringo South constituency, Mochongoi ward, that 1,400 animals were snatched from families in that part of Baringo daytime, not even at night.
Baringo South MP Charles Kamuren says the bandits attacked 3 villages in his constituency and took away over 1,400 heads of cattle.
And it's almost now 20 years when we were just crying before the cameras here, every time, every single week. The entire place, the entire region, that region, is manned by bandits.
The MP spoke even as a section of leaders and clergy in Laikipia County questioned the scope of the ongoing security operation, arguing that it is falling short of intended objectives.
Security ni sisi na serikali na kila mmoja wetu. Tusikubali kupiganisha watu.
Na mimi nakumbuka juzi Matiang'i alikuwa hapa na akasema ya kwamba usalama utarudi hapa. Lakini jambo la kuvunja moyo ni ya kwamba hakuna jambo lolote linaonekana likitendeka kwa sababu hawa majangili wanaendelea kuchunga kwa mashamba yetu.
The lawmakers are demanding restoration of Kenya Police Service in the North Rift, accusing the police of complacency.
Our KBRs that you took from us, we have youths that have been vetted, their names are known, even they have the cards, the identity cards for KBRs. Can you give them guns and let them do the work?
The National Assembly Security and Administration Committee is set to visit the area for a fact-finding mission. Kevin Washira, Easy Friday.
Now, shock and grief engulfed Ndonyero village in Gatundu North constituency after irate residents burnt a house belonging to a woman believed to have killed her husband. The residents, in demanding justice for the late John Gatonye, destroyed the house where his wife and son, who are suspected of carrying out the heinous act, lived.
The late John Gatonye reportedly died while receiving treatment at the Thika Level 5 hospital after his wife and son allegedly assaulted him with a sharp object.
Marehemu huyu sasa ameenda sahi Gatonye. Walikuwa wameconspire na huyo officer. Aseme alikuwa witness wakiwa watu wanauza hiyo shamba. Lakini nilimwambia hapana, asijaribu kutumia ukora. Mimi nilitesei mtu achugane na hii family sababu nia yao walikuwa wataka wachukue mashamba, wauze, wajisaidie na pesa.
Icked by the unfolding, residents destroyed the family's 3-bedroom house and a kitchen in protest, demanding justice for the slain father. Locals alleged that the woman and her son had previously conveyed to have the man arrested over some trumped-up charges. Gatonye is reported to have quarrelled with his wife and son over domestic issues, a squabble that left him with serious stomach injuries. He was later pronounced dead while receiving treatment. The 2 suspects are currently in hiding. Police have launched investigation into the incident. Beatrice Gatonye-Ngetich, Easy Friday.
Now, the family of the late Dr. James Gakara, who is suspected to have killed his 2 children, will now wait a little longer before they can get conclusive results on what led to his death and that of his 2 children. Now, this follows a post-mortem conducted at the Nakuru Level 5 Hospital by government pathologist Dr. Titus Gulungu. The late Nakuru-based doctor died while receiving treatment at Nakuru Level 5 Hospital on Wednesday.
Dr. Ngulungu said that the post-mortem could not immediately establish what led to the death of Dr. Gakara, who died at Nakuru Level 5 Hospital.
Kwa uchunguzi wa kifo cha daktari, tumeangalia tukaona alikuwa on treatment, na tumeangalia tukaona alikuwa na pricks, lakini unajua saa hii hatuwezi kujua kama ni yeye ama ni za madaktari, lakini hata hivyo tumechukua organs na tissues na zinapelekwa kwa maabara ya serikali ili kumbaini kama kulikuwa na kitu yoyote ambacho kilikuwa sumu ama kimbaya kwa mwili wake.
Dr. Ngulungu further added that they collected some organs and tissues from the doctor's body for further analysis, even as the family waits for results from similar tests on tissue samples collected on the bodies of his two children.
Tumechukua vitu ambavyo ni muhimu kwa miili na uchunguzi unaendelea, na vile tunafanyanga tukichukua organs, kuna kitu kinaitwa chain of custody. They are taken zinapelekwa huko na maafisa ya polisi, wale wanafanya uchunguzi. Kile tutakuwa tunangoja ni tupewe majibu ili tuone yale yaliyofanyika.
The pathologist, however, noted that the family was free to continue with burial plans for the three, saying that they had collected enough samples from the bodies. The family spokesman Barton Njoroge said that they were hopeful that the government will soon release the results to satisfy the anxiety of the family.
Tumeweza kumaliza postmortem ya ndugu yetu na imeweza kukamilisha sasa hivi, lakini ripoti ya postmortem tutaingojea kwa sababu iko anda kwa DCIO na madaktari pia. Kwa hivyo baada ya kumaliza ripoti yao tutayapata majibu.
Gakara was last weekend found unconscious alongside his two children in their Milimani estate home in Nakuru. Jacqueline Masharia for Easy Friday.
Meanwhile, close to half of the residents of Tana River County are food insecure owing to the ongoing drought. A ray of hope, however, is dawning on the perennially food insecure county through mechanized agriculture. And as Caroline Kamau now reports, new technology in rice transplanting at Hola irrigation scheme is promising better yields.
Ravaging drought in the country is jolting Kenyans to seek new agricultural modes of boosting yields. At the Hola irrigation scheme in the semi-arid Tana River County, mechanization promises to change fortunes. In rice transplanting, one can choose to germinate the seeds at home or in the rice fields in a tray. The seedling will germinate in just 2 weeks, ready for transplanting, as opposed to the conventional 3 weeks on a ground nursery. Once they're ready, the seedlings are planted using a rice transplanter.
Increase the food productivity in Kenya, we need to improve the efficiency, and the efficiency is improved in one way by use of machines. As you've seen Hai demonstrating, using this transplanting machine is very simple. Anybody can actually use it, and if we can use the machines, especially these small ones, to our rice farming in this region, more farmers will get into farming and we will have more food.
Ordinarily, an acre of rice field would take 16 people and 5 hours to plant, but this technology reduces that to between 45 minutes and an hour, to the delight of farmers.
Hii mashine hii vile imekuja mkulima itampeleka mbali. Kwa hivyo tumefurahia na tuna encourage kwamba wale washikadau na wale wasaidizi kama wanapata usaidizi ya kusaidia mkulima iweze kupatikana ile mkulima azikwenda mbele.
The National Irrigation Authority plans to replicate this model in about 1,000 acres on the Hola irrigation scheme.
You know, the acreage which will be put under rice will be increased, which is one of the main target areas of increasing food and nutrition security to achieve our Big Four agenda. We've seen the other crops which we are doing from the other hand. So, in a nutshell, we want to ensure that Tana River County can be able to support itself in terms of food sufficiency and also supply the rest to the country.
The National Irrigation Authority, in partnership with the Japanese company Kilimall, is equipping local farmers with skills to implement the new technology.
I actually forgot to mention at the beginning of the bulletin that our sign language interpreter is Susan Thuku. Forgive me, Susan, for that. In fact, the next story touches on that, where the National Council for Persons with Disabilities is calling on the government to include sign language in the curriculum to minimize communication barrier between those with hearing impairment and those without. The council argues that sign language is an essential right for deaf people. Now, this as Kenya joined the rest of the world in marking the International Week of the Deaf People, with overriding theme this year being "We Sign for Human Rights." Weekly for Catch has this story, even as Susan Thuku interprets that.
Isaac Opapa is a disgruntled man. He was allegedly brutalized by the police enforcing the nationwide curfew directive, unaware of his condition. Peter Otieno, a resident of Homa Bay County, now using crutches to support himself after he lost a leg in an accident involving a train when he failed to hear it hoot. These are just a few of the challenges faced by persons with hearing impairment.
During COVID-19, from the time it started, as a deaf person, we've had many challenges over this area. Some people have failed to get the correct information of COVID-19. Also, some they miss the masks, and so they could not be protected.
As Kenya marked the annual International Week of Deaf People in Homa Bay under the theme "We Sign for Human Rights," the National Council for Persons with Disabilities urged the government to include sign language in the curriculum, not only to enhance public awareness but also to cater for the right of deaf people.
We can learn this sign language so that we don't need people, a country which we don't have people who can interpret. There is a case we visited at Kenyatta National Hospital. When a deaf person, our colleague, visited that hospital, that big institution did not have a sign language interpreter. So what do they expect? That person, that patient, to share his problems.
The council is also urging for inclusion of persons with hearing difficulty in public engagements.
We need good messages, so that at least our deaf brothers and sisters can know what is going on in this country. They are there to know. They are part and parcel of this country. They are voters.
Reporting for Easy Friday from Homa Bay County, I'm Wycliffe Okage.
All right, and with that, it's time to take our first commercial break. Remember, you can always interact with us. Tell us where you're watching from. The hashtag is Easy Friday. Find us on Twitter at KBC Channel 1, at Shiksha Arora, at John_Kago_M. Don't forget to include that hashtag. That's Easy Friday. And yes, we will definitely be letting you know who's watching from where later on.
You have learned well. The underscores there, as mentioned.
I'm a quick learner.
Absolutely, yeah. And if actually you have your gadget, and it's important that I mention this, if you have your gadget with you, that's your phone, and you have access to YouTube, go to YouTube right now, and you can watch us live. We are live on YouTube, so hurry and let's get interactive there as well. All right, we're back in a moment.
Tangu uhuru, Kenya imekuwa ikiendelea mbele katika kila jambo, na wakati huo huo ikiendelea kuhifadhi utamaduni wake. Rais Kenyatta, ambaye anapendelea sana midundo ya kiasili, hufurahia na kujiunga na wachezaji badala ya kukaa na kuwatazama tu. Mama Ngina Kenyatta vile vile anajiunga na wacheza ngoma wa kitamaduni.
Ili kupata sikiza tune hii ya kibeti, bonyeza *811*962#.
Haki umefanya vizuri sana kunifikia hii simu sasa. Nimekuwa na stress kutoka asubuhi kabisa. Na ni huyu mtu ambaye alikuwa anapatiana majina ya vitu. Kwani hakutufikiria sisi watu wa Eastern Ukambani? Ni nani alisema ati wife kwa Kiswahili ni mke. Na akasema ati handbaka. Hii inabebwa na mwanamke handbaka. Ati kwa Kiswahili ni kibeti. Huku kwetu mke ndiye kibeti.
Ili kupata sikiza tune hiyo ya kibeti, bonyeza star 811 star 962 hash. Star 811 star 962 hash.
The heart disease is the world's #1 killer, claiming nearly 17 million lives every year.
When the blood comes back from the body to the heart, all the oxygen has been extracted from the blood, and it's really coming now to the heart to get replenished with the oxygen, right?
What are the long-term complications?
So people with heart disease generally face premature disability.
My name is Fikiri Kiponda. I am a wildlife warrior. The soft plastics, they look like jellyfish, which turtle end up confusing with their natural food.
She's finished laying her eggs and now she's covering them up. She swipes with her fins, chucking sand into the pit behind her where the eggs are.
Some turtle will do like 7 clutches.
This tiny crab could actually kill a baby turtle.
Turtle needs everyone's help. Otherwise, they might get into extinct.
This is Wildlife Warriors.
Welcome back. We now focus on what's making headlines in the world of business. My name is Carol Jenger. Now, technology has helped reduce the cost of house construction by more than 3 times, with a 2-bedroom house now being built within 8 days at a cost of 1.1 million shillings. Housing Principal Secretary Charles Hinga says this is thanks to partnership with the government forged with the private sector and other partners.
Housing Principal Secretary Charles Hinga says the government estimated that it required 1.2 trillion shillings to finance construction of the 500,000 housing units. He says this is because in 2018 it cost about 80,000 shillings per square meter to construct houses in Kenya. The cost are reduced by more than 3 times in as many years as the government embraced partnerships with the private sector as well as other partners under the affordable housing project being implemented by the country, whose main target is to have Kenyans living in decent housing.
Affordable housing is not government coming to build a house for you. Affordable housing is government enabling you to have choice of technologies, lowering the cost of construction like we have done, giving you various incentives so that you can go and make sure you live in a high quality of life.
Hinga says technology is helping reduce the duration it takes to construct houses, and costs with the 2-bedroom house now have been drastically reduced over the last 3 years.
In 2018, that unit will have cost you 3.6 million shillings. The numbers that I'm being given is just about 1.1 million for a 2-bedroom house.
This particular innovation and the technology will be exposed to our contractors. So we need to have a program that can also integrate them so that they can easily assimilate into the market.
We now focus on the construction sector, where the cost of construction could reduce if prices of key components such as cement are decreased. Despite the construction boom during the pandemic, the price of cement has increased due to higher cost of key imported raw materials such as clinker and logistical challenges due to the COVID-19 disruptions. Latest data indicates that the construction sector grew 11.8% last year as the cement consumption increased to 7.4 million tons.
Statistics indicate that cement production rose 21.3% last year to reach 7.47 million tons from 6.16 million tons in 2019, as the construction sector bore minimal impact as a result of the pandemic. On the other hand, price of a ton of cement increased by 118 shillings to 12,187 shillings, a factor being blamed on the higher cost of inputs such as clinker, a key raw material used in cement production. Njoroge says cement manufacturers are paying 10% import duty to bring in nearly 2 tons of clinker annually, while National Cement and Mombasa Cement plants remain underutilized. Several firms have announced plans to expand their clinker capacities by 2023, and these will send production capacity to 10.7 million tons, further adding to idle capacity. In 2018, National Simba Cement established a 2.8 billion shillings clinker factory in Kajiado with a capacity to produce 1.2 million tons of clinker annually.
A further reduction in the cost of cement as part of our collective effort to bring the cost of building materials within the reach of those ready to put their efforts and capital into building new homes and businesses.
Bamburi, East African Portland Cement, Mombasa Cement and National Cement also have clinker.
We cross over now to the digital banking transformation, and we see the future of banking in Kenya will hinge on financial institutions replacing their traditional core banking system with intelligent finance solutions that offer better customer experience. NCBA CEO John Gashora says more customers are moving away from cash, and there is a niche that needs to be filled, especially with the growing appetite for contactless payment solutions. As digital technologies become more integrated within the financial services industry, transaction modes and service models are quickly evolving. NCBA CEO John Gashora says growth of fintech has transformed lives and economies, offering innovation and propelling an upsurge of financial inclusion across the region.
People don't want to come into physical contact with money or come to branches. The adoption has been extremely good. I think I've seen some numbers from some banks who are saying over 90% of their transactions today, from a volume perspective, are now digital. So you can see a really good adoption.
Still on technology, the number of job seekers has doubled since last year after some companies reduced capacity and jobs. This is according to Brighter Monday CEO Emmanuel Kutuma, who is urging job seekers to embrace technology while scouting for jobs.
How can you position yourself as a candidate to transition to a sector that is has positive movements? How can you upskill yourself from the hotel industry to digital industry to serve in a different way than you've used to be?
And that is how we wrap up business and news this Easy Friday. Now, Richard Munga will be coming up next with the sports update, but first we take a short commercial break. My name is Carol Jenger. Have a good night.
Because we are Dynasty, we are better than you, and you know it.
And Dynasty, we accept your challenge, but there's one stipulation. This match is going to be a ladder match. It's the most dangerous, the most deadly style of match in wrestling. I think that it's time that we give Brian Pillman Jr. the chance to shine. I want to give him this opportunity to be in this match.
I'll make the Hart family proud, and I'll make my father proud.
Then don't worry, you understand?
I don't trust you. I
I trust you.
Thank you. I needed that.
Mnatoshaje kako kanyumba kenyu kadogo?
Everybody needs to start minding their own business around here.
Look at who he's talking.
Hey, Sugar. I thought you could use my new number since you told me hubby discovered the old one. Hello?
You're beautiful and I'm blessed to have you.
Well, then, I guess I need to go now.
Oh, good evening. I'm Richard Munga with the day's sports. Now, the national women's under-20 football team, Rising Starlets head coach Charles Okere is upbeat. His charges are up to the task ahead of the 2022 FIFA Under-20 World Cup qualifier against Uganda's Crested Cranes, slated for Saturday at the Nyayo National Stadium. The return leg for the match is set for October 8th in Uganda.
The national women's under-20 football team Rising Starlets has stepped up training ahead of their 2022 FIFA Under-20 World Cup qualifier against Uganda's Crested Cranes. Head coach Charles Okere is optimistic the girls will give their best.
Kenya Uganda ni mechi kubwa na vile nimesema hapo mbele, tunawaheshimu sana Uganda, wako na timu nzuri na kesho sisi tumejiandaa kupambana nao kwa sababu Kenya na Uganda katika historia ya mpira hata ya kinadada ni mechi ambayo itakuwa ya kusisimua.
Mazoezi haijakuwa rahisi. Imekuwa tough juu pia tunajua chenye iko mbele yetu na tunajua chenye tunaenda kufanya. So imekuwa ngumu kiasi but tumejikaza.
Rising Starlets held a training session Friday morning as they step up preparations for the match. The winner of the tie on aggregate will face the winner of the second round tie, pitting Mozambique against South Africa. The 2022 FIFA Under-20 World Cup will be held from 10th August to 28th August in Costa Rica, with 16 teams expected to participate.
Now, meanwhile, the 2021-2022 FKF Premier League season kicks off this weekend with 9 matches on card. Former league champions Gor Mahia will kick off their campaign against KCB. 2009 champions Fapaka will take on City Stars. While defending champions Tusker FC will face AFC Leopards on Sunday at the Nyayo National Stadium. Also, Egypt beat Cameroon 2-0 at the ongoing Africa Deaflympics Ball Games qualifiers in a clash to determine the third place of the ongoing Deaflympics competitions at the Moi International Sports Centre, Kasarani. The winner of the 12-team qualifying tournament will clinch a slot to represent Africa at the 24th edition of the Deaflympics scheduled for December in Brazil.
It was a clash where both teams had equal chances of scoring in the first half with attempts from both sides. Chances were created but in vain, forcing a goalless first half score. In the second half, Egypt scored their first goal through Ahmed El Bashir in the 60th minute from a free kick. Cameroon tried to equalize but their attempts didn't bear any fruits. In the 93rd minute, Hossam Eldana added a second for Egypt and assured them a third place in the competition. The finals will be played tomorrow with Mali playing Senegal.
Well, now in regards to that, we have the Kenyan teams, that is basketball, Deaflympics teams qualifying as well as the women's football. That is after, of course, their opponents failed to show up at the qualifiers being held here in Kenya. Let's move on to other matters whereby high-flying Chelsea are targeting a record 4 consecutive wins over Manchester City in all competitions for the first time since an 8-match sequence between 2005 and 2009 when they host the noisy neighbours tomorrow at Stamford Bridge. For this and more, here's a look at the weekend diary. Well, no, that's all the time we have for sports, but don't go too far. John, Kago and Shiksha, of course, coming up next. Do have a good night.
That's Mr. Richard Munga, the sportsman. He'll be back, I guess, next week or the week after that with the latest. That means, looking at the clock right now, it's about 20 minutes to 10 o'clock. It's time for me to leave. I need to listen up because it's time for the spotlight, Shiksha.
Yep.
I need to leave in the studio with Barak Jacuzzi. Barak, good to see you, man.
My guy, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to hear everybody talking.
Finally.
Wow.
And you know what? I know you want to talk. You want to talk a lot. So you'll have to wait for that break. After we're back, we'll get talking.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, how about that? You don't want Barak to give me a few lines as
of course he can.
Of your favorite, of your favorite.
I mean, I guess I'll just go off the top of the dome.
Yeah.
What, a few lines, then we go to break. Okay.
Yeah, just a few lines. Yeah. How about
Listen. I came in all black just like that, and before I say too much, we'll be right back.
Hey!
That's so sad. And I need to get out of the studio now.
I don't want to hear a peep until morning. In fact, why don't you all sleep? What?
So what happened?
Oh, she found a richer, better looking option. She's not my wife. You don't want it? Or would you prefer some of that bad chicken?
Adolezi kanipanda ikatukutu kwenye basta yeah. Tukaingia kampo ikasema nakupenda ukasema unasoma bado nakuona daily looking fly na kufeel even more I wonder what I'm gonna do if you ever walk out the door. Bado when you lay bado nakufeel baby feel every day. Bado when you lay bado nakufeel baby feel Kago. When you see her in photos, but she came for the cocos, Coco, yeah, she love the coco thing, yeah. My coco things, she wanted the coco, yeah. Okay. My coco things, she wanted the coco, yeah. My coco things, oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, how many cows, baby? Tell me how many chickens you need. How many goats? Yeah, I'll do the most if it's for you, baby.
Girl, wine for the banana, na na na. Come know your friend, na fa na 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 na. Because a six pack, yeah, go na 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 na. That shisha unlock, oh na 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 na. Girl, work it like you're working for me. Girl, work it. Tell me feel it, baby, real. Girl, work it. Una sister, mommy. Girl, work it. Let me see your leg, shoulders, knees, toes. Night and day, girl, you wind up me, give me head, shoulders, knees, toes. Everything I want, everything, give me head, shoulders, knees, toes. Night and day, girl, you wind up me, give me head, shoulders, knees, toes. Give me everything I want, everything, yeah.
She drive me loco when you see her in photos, but she came for the cocos, Coco, yeah, she love the coco thing, yeah. My coco thing, she wanted the coco, yeah. My coco thing, she loving the coco, yeah. My coco thing, she wanted the coco, yeah. My coco thing, oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, how many cows, baby? Tell me how many chickens you need. How many goats? Yeah, I'll do the most if it's for you, baby. Yeah, how many cows, baby? Tell me how many chickens you need. How many goats? Yeah, I'll do the most if it's for you, for you, for you, for you. More checks, more jokes, that's next. Ain't nobody gon' trip, we got the drip. I pull up and you watch how I flex. I pull up and you watch how I flex. Pull up and you watch how I. Ay, in Nairobi I'm as good as it gets. In Nairobi I'm good, in my city I'm as good as it gets. Jacuzzi gon' always get you wet. She said she don't drink, but shawty still lit. And my new ting, better than my ex, God bless. Say a party ain't a party till I walk in the party. I got a bottle of that Frank and a jig of the Molly. I'm really eating on these chickens, you would think I was starving. I'm about to put that more juice merchandise in the apartments. And baby got that on fleek, I need to see you same time next week. Oh yeah, I'ma hit it like I'm fresh out of jail. When I'm in it, I be feeling like me. Twindele, I'm on 2C in the club like Nyashinski. Twinde Kasi, we like to party and I'm balolo all week. Let's dress more checks, more jokes, that's next. Ain't nobody gon' trip, we got the drip. I pull up and you watch how I flex. I pull up and you watch how I flex. Pull up and you watch how I. Ay, in Nairobi I'm as good as it gets. In Nairobi I'm good, Let's dress more checks, more jokes, that's next. Ain't nobody gon' trip, we got the drip. I pull up and you watch how I flex. I pull up and you watch how I flex. Pull up and you watch how I. Ay, in Nairobi I'm as good as it gets. In Nairobi I'm good, oh yeah. See I'm blessed, not stressed, yes it's evident. Barak Jacuzzi might just be your next president. Coco things all on me like my melanin. Yeah, I'm the plug, if I say let them in, then they let them in. Ain't no questions asking, I got the juice like passion. Oh yeah, I'm posting like a caption. Pretty rock style with a southern accent. Oh yeah, this year we coming for all the trophies. My head to Josie with all the homies. Pull up in Niger just to do the shoki. Then we back to Nairobi. Back to Nairobi. Back to Nairobi. Let's dress more checks, more jokes, that's next. Ain't nobody gon' trip, we got the drip. I pull up and you watch how I flex. I pull up and you watch how I flex. Pull up and you watch how I. Ay, in Nairobi I'm as good as it gets. In Nairobi I'm good, Let's dress more checks, more jokes, that's next. Ain't nobody gon' trip, we got the drip. I pull
pull up and you watch how I flex. I pull up and you watch how I flex. Pull up and you watch how I ay, in Nairobi I'm as good as it gets. In Nairobi I'm good, I'm good, she drive a man loco when you see her in photos, but she came for the coco, yeah, she love the cocotte, yeah, my cocottes, she wantin' the coco, yeah, my cocottes, she loving the coco, yeah, my cocottes, she wantin' the coco, yeah, my cocottes, oh yeah, yeah, she give me what I need, baby. And I need it like a fiend, baby. I put a ring on your thing, baby. Aish, that thing, baby. Do the baddest in the club right now. Chris Brown, let me take you down. At least let me take you out. Can I take you out? Oh yeah. With a young OG, I mean the so good I should've been free. We in the VIP, popping cocotte. No anybody, Johnny came with me. Yeah, yeah. So chill, baby, sit tight. Baby, what you need by midnight? On this side, damn your body looks skin tight. She drive a man loco when you see her in photos. She came for the
Friday because the vibes are immaculate. Absolutely loved that performance. I'm talking about the one and only Barak Jacuzzi. What a performer. Loved it.
Thank you.
I think you killed it, eh?
Thank you. I had a great time.
Yeah? Do you really like enjoy performing?
I do. I mean, you know, I used to not like it so much, you know, when your parents make you like perform for their friends and stuff like that.
Everyone's just like, oh, he can rap.
Yeah.
Start rapping.
Yeah, you're just like trying to get some food out the kitchen. But I do. I love it, especially now that it's my real job. And,
yeah?
You know,
oh, okay. So Barak, you are multi-talented, you know, you are an entertainer, you are a rap artist, of course. We've just seen that. Great job, as always. You are a radio host, you're a host as well.
Yes.
So like, how did you discover that, you know, I can do X, Y, Z? How did you like realize all these talents?
I mean, I always knew what I wasn't good at. So it's much easier to know what you're not good at to now know what you're really good at.
I like that because not many people can actually say, okay, I'm not good at this.
Yeah.
It's hard to accept that you're not good at something.
Yeah.
It's a great trait.
Yeah, so I was always... I always knew how to know what I'm really not good at. So for hosting and all those things, they all kind of just, it's all kind of one thing for me. Like it's all entertainment.
Okay.
So hosting, whether it's like a live show at the Alchemist or wherever it be, or maybe performing, whether it's live or maybe doing radio or acting, you know, it's all entertainment. So I kind of like, it's like entertainment is my girlfriend, and then the other things inside entertainment business are like my side things. I'm cheating on them with. All
right. So it's like, obviously this is something that, you know, you've known for a while, as you said, that you knew you were good at entertaining people.
Yeah.
All right. So when did you start rapping?
I mean, I started when I was a kid, but professionally, I think I made my first song in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's still on YouTube now. It's called The Juice. It has like 0 views. I don't know why people still don't want to listen to it now, but I thought maybe when I get famous, you know,
everyone's
it'll
gonna
come
listen
back.
to it.
It still has like 800 views.
Stalk you and then go back to
Exactly. Nope, none of that. So it's still on YouTube now. And yeah, I made that like in 2012, and then I kind of didn't make music for like a couple years.
Why?
Well, that song didn't do too well, as I just told you. So I was like, I don't know. I don't really know if it's a thing.
Am I really meant for this?
Yeah, so
I
went back to like hosting parties and really focusing on other sides of entertainment. And then when I came back to Kenya in 2015, that's when I took it serious and now dropped like my first project.
Okay.
And that's when it really started to pick up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've been doing this for, I think, 6 years now, professionally, right?
Yeah.
And you were obviously raised in the United States of America, right? But you wanted to come back home.
Yeah.
Why is that so?
Well, I was born and raised in South Carolina, and
It's no LA or Atlanta, as you can imagine. But on a serious note, I just would always come back and forth as punishment to Kenya. And
as punishment?
Yeah, because
really?
I would throw parties and they would get really... they would get a lot of people, but with a lot of people comes a lot of responsibility, and things would happen. Whether it's a fight or whether it's let's just leave it at things would happen, and I would be the one who was responsible. I got my name on the paperwork and all of that, so my parents would send me to Kenya. So when I would come over here for the summers or a year, I realized how incredible the entertainment scene is here, because I'd always I shouldn't say this, but I was in the club, as a young kid here. So I got to see how much fun it is and how progressive it is. And I told myself when I'm, of age and I can, defend for myself and make my own living, I'll move back and build my own
legacy.
My own legacy here, because my parents had already left, so there was not much for me to grab from them here. So I was like, I'll start from scratch and just make it happen.
All right. And I did some Googling, and Google lies. Just by the way, he's not a pianist. I honestly thought that he would be out here, just like playing the piano with his eyes shut. No, that's not the case. He said that he can, though, a few songs here and there.
Here and there.
But your mom's also somebody.
My mom plays what?
Yeah, she's from the musical family as well.
Yes.
So you are born into this background.
Yeah. My mom, she's super into music. She plays the guitar, plays piano. She can pretty much pick up almost any instrument and just kind of at least catch a vibe. But I know piano and guitar she does extremely well. She sings as well. And my dad, he's a psychologist, he's a therapist, but he was also for maybe a decade of my life he had a church.
Okay.
So he's a preacher. So that's entertainment to me. I always saw that as entertainment because every Sunday, there's this group of people that are listening to this guy talk, kind of what I do. So I got to take a lot of different things from them and use it into my own life.
Amazing. So you picked up, bits from your dad, bits from mom, and then combined them. And here you are.
And here I am.
Love it.
They want me to be Bahati, but here we are. They're like, why can't you be like Bahati? I'm like, have you guys met Bahati, honestly?
But it's okay.
That's my guy.
I feel like Barak is cooler.
Thank you. Thank you. No offense, Bahati. You're my guy, Bahati.
So Barak, tell me about your training in terms of your vocals. Have you had any training? Have you gone to school where you can actually get trained as a vocalist? Any of that?
No, I haven't, but it's something that I've been wanting to get into now that I'm in these later years. Well, not later years, but now that I'm evolving more into my craft. I've been wanting to really get into singing lessons, just to take it to the next level and just get better. As you can tell, my voice is a little hoarse. I was in the club last night.
Okay.
Doing my job, and I do want to take it to the next level, but I haven't.
Not yet.
Natural.
All right, but that's something that you're hoping to do in future.
Yeah, I definitely want to do it. I keep hearing it from a lot of mentors of mine that it's always good to expand and just build on what you already are good at. So I have a nice voice, so you should learn how to use it and duplicate it better. And it's scientific actually. So
let's talk about when you came back to Kenya, right? Of course, you had to start from scratch. You had to make
nobody.
Yes, you didn't know anybody. You didn't have any networks, connections. Living in the UK, South Carolina, and then coming to Kenya. I'm sure it was difficult. What are some of the challenges that you encountered along the way?
Well, it was crazy. It was crazy difficult. One, I didn't know nobody. So I was just super hungry. I would just go to rap ciphers and competitions and I was auditioning for everything. I remember there was a thing called Noki Don't Break the Beat. I did that, got a lot of traction. I met a lot of the people that I know now through those things, like Octopizzo, and a lot of great people that are still relevant to this day. DJ Joe and Flyman, Azizi. Frasha, and then there was competitions for radio. I think Capital FM was having this competition for radio presenters, and I was trying out for everything.
Yeah.
So through that, I started meeting everybody.
You started networking.
Exactly. And you know me. I walk in the room. You're gonna have to notice me a little bit.
You're a social butterfly.
Whether you like me, you're gonna notice me. So, but most everybody did like me, and it really happened seamlessly through the last 6 years. And it just kind of just worked out the way I met the right people. You just meet the people that need to meet you, and you should be friends with them. They should be friends with you, and that's how it
as they say,
out.
the rest is history.
The rest is history. I remember when I first came back, Shopperman was a club mentor. I called him a club mentor because I didn't know anything about the Nairobi scene. I didn't know that people party for days on end. I didn't know that clubs, especially this before Corona. So in South Carolina, the club closes at 2 sharp.
Exactly.
Sharp. It's over. But here, you kind of, well, before Corona, you could leave the house at like midnight too, and you're gonna be there till about 4 or 5. So I didn't know anything about that. So it was so much that I learned, you know, hanging out with Shopper Man my first 2 years. And then it was funny, we always laughed, like, because after like the first 2 years, I was always the guy people would tell me, can you take a picture with me and Shopper? And then after about a year or so, people would stop shopping and be like, hey, can you take a picture of me and Barak? And we would just be there laughing like, this is crazy. So shout out to my boy Shopper Man.
Hey, okay. So Barak, tell us about, you know, your transformation and your evolution. Started off as a rap artist, moved on to becoming a host, and then of course now you're a radio presenter. What do you like to do most? What do you enjoy most?
Ooh, I like hosting parties the most.
Okay.
I like party hosting the most. If I could do it in order, oh, and that's tough. If I could do it in order, I would say hosting parties like club gigs and shows. Then I would say, rapping at clubs and shows, because it's always fun being the rapper. Like, I love putting on this rapper thing, because people just treat rappers differently. So
absolutely.
It's just a vibe. So rapping at shows, then after that I would say hosting at shows, and then after that I would say acting. No, I would say radio, because radio is really fun, and then acting, because acting is super hard. Like so many takes. Like people think like, you know, it's maybe they don't think it's hard, but I found out that it's extremely hard, because you do 1,000 takes. And yeah, that'd be that order.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm missing out anything else that I do, but yeah, in that order.
Piano here and there.
Yeah, and of course playing the piano. I'm a pianist. I had to even say I'm not a pianist, people. I don't want anyone to think that, you know, I don't want to get no piano bookings. Please don't book me to, you know, play piano at your wedding.
When it comes to the rap scene in Kenya, you know, is there an artist that you'd love to collaborate with in future? Somebody that you'd want to work with?
I don't think they're in Kenya, but I love Matata right now.
Okay.
It's a Monday, but I'm on a Friday vibe, you know.
I see what you did there.
I love what they're doing. I love that they're bringing the dance element really to the front page. It's really how they're selling themselves is through their dance, and I think that's an incredible angle, and I just love their vibe. I've met, I think, all of them at different times, because they keep coming at different, they haven't all come together, but I've met them, like a couple of them when they were here, and I love them. So yeah, Matata, and me and Enviri have been cooking up some stuff, so I can't wait to put some of that out. And yeah.
And what about any female artists you'd love? I know you're friends with Xenia, of course.
I was about to say I could just start naming them now. But I definitely was in Karun's DMs just the other day. I told her we needed to hop back in the studio, because she was on my last project. We did a song called Come Over. And me and Xenia have a song that's fire. I'm still begging her to let me have it. So Xenia, let me get that song. And then me and Tanasha have some stuff that we're cooking up as well. So,
Tanasha. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I know you're friends with her, and you guys go way back, right?
Way back, yeah.
From Energy Days, and you know, that's how you started.
She's one of my first friends that I met.
Yeah.
Yeah, just by chance. And then we just clicked. And it was before she was who she was, and before I was who I was. So we kind of grew
So will
together.
we get to hear a Tanasha Barak collabo in future?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, we did radio. That was the first one. I have a song on her EP that she's dropping extremely soon. It's already done. It's gonna, I know this EP, she's going to the moon with this one.
Okay.
So now, and then we have one that we're working on for my project that whenever she gets back from Nigeria, the Niger gal, we'll finish it up.
All right, looking forward to that. And you know, Barak, let's talk about you as an artist. You know, when you got your big break, I heard, if I'm not wrong, Octopizzo is the one who signed you under his label,
Indeed,
right?
Yeah.
How was that experience? You know, I'm sure you must have learned a lot from him, as he's a pioneer of rap in Kenya, per se, one of the first rap artists that we've had who has really just gone viral, and of course he became fully blown into this artist that he is today.
Yeah.
So how was that like? How's the experience? Did you enjoy it? What did you learn from him?
It was amazing, man. I mean, you know, it was humbling, because when I met Octo, I was super unknown, super raw, didn't have any songs out yet. You know, I was just freestyling and doing these freestyle battles. But, you know, I guess there was something about our energies that clicked. And what did I learn from it? We did, you know, so many shows. You know, Octo, his work ethic is crazy. Like he drops, you know, probably like 2 albums a year, but he already has like 8 albums ready. So even when he's dropping his music, it's like probably a year old, you know, unless he just makes a new song and he wants to throw it on the album. But he's already like a machine that's ready for the next 10 years.
Right.
So I learned a lot about just prepping your rollouts, your music, and also how to perform. Like his breathing is crazy. Like, you know me, I'll start sweating. He can do maybe an hour straight without sweating. I don't know if it's his if it's in his Luo blood or what Nyago is going on, but And also had to do it without playback. You know, he doesn't do playback. He does all his music just instrumentals. And he put me on some of my first big stages, you know, so he really got me over the shock of being in front of a lot of people, or on TV, or in front of big crowds, or dead crowds. You know, I got to be on all types of stages because I was his hype man for 2 years, and we was everywhere. We went everywhere in Kenya, and it was amazing. So shout out to my boy Octo Mbido, number 9, Gang Gang, A-Town.
Awesome. And you know, as we wrap up, what is the one thing that you'd like to tell your fans out there, people who are watching, of course, people who supported you from day one, and maybe you could also give them a word of advice in terms of what they need to do to break through into the rap industry in Kenya?
Word, man. Well, you know, first of all, right when I got to the gate, I ran into some fans. And they started, you know, it was like 5 dudes, and they didn't recognize me at first. I don't know if I was on the phone, they heard me, but they were like, oh, Jacuzzi, he's an icon. They started taking the phones out, and we took pictures, and they got in trouble. So one dude got taken away. So I hope he's all right, my guy. I hope you're all right. I was even telling him, the producer came to get me, I was like, what about him? Because I felt bad, so I'm going to go check, make sure he's not still there. But what I gotta say to my fans, you know, thank you guys so much for growing with me and supporting me. You know, I kind of feel like an alien sometimes because I'm not the typical Kenyan artist. Right. So I'm not a Genki Tono artist, but I'm not a Kilimani or you know, East Lando artist, or so you know, all my fans that rock with me, I know it's real love because I'm a very untypical artist. So I really love my fans that love me. So, you know, thank you guys. And if you guys are getting into music or whatever you're pursuing, I think it just takes super consistency. And, you know, if you really stay consistent, the rest will work itself out. And you stay loyal to good people, and good things will happen to you. I think a lot of times people aren't loyal, however you may take it, whether they're not loyal to their family or to their friends or to their craft. But if you stay loyal to, you know, your family and your friends and your craft, it's gonna happen.
You're gonna go places.
It's not gonna happen today.
Yeah.
It may not happen tomorrow, and you might work for Octopizzo for free for 2 years as a hype man, but you know, then you're gonna be on KBC with Shiksha, you know, on Friday night, 6 years later, so you never know.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was an absolute pleasure. You know, you're amazing. We wish you all the very best in your future projects. I see immense talent in you. I'm always going to support you, so keep it up, and yeah.
Thank you, and when I drop some new stuff, I have a whole bunch of stuff that I can't really talk about, but I'm working on some dope stuff, and I can't wait to come
We'll talk about that in the next show.
We're going to talk about it in the next show.
And that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for tuning in right here on #Easy Friday. We'll do this again next week, same time, same place. Until then, keep smiling, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll hand it over to Cole Jax.
Yeah. Yeah, yo.
Cole Jax.
She drive a man loco when you see her in photos. But she came for the Coco, yeah. She love the cocoa, yeah. My cocoa, she wanted the cocoa, yeah. My cocoa, she loving the cocoa, yeah. My cocoa, she wanting the cocoa, yeah. My cocoa, oh yeah, yeah. She give me what I need, baby, and I need it like a fiend, baby. I put a ring on your thing, baby.